Our goal in presenting this podcast to the viewers and listeners is to help inform and educate the listener or the viewer on what they need to know if they have been injured. We will help simplify the legal process for you so that you understand completely what you are about to get yourself into if you hire a lawyer, or what you're going to get yourself into if you don't hire a lawyer.
Welcome to From Communities to Courtrooms podcast with your host, nationally recognized personal injury lawyer, Tim Miley, founder of Miley Legal. We dive into the complex world of personal injury law to make it simple and easy for you to understand. We discuss some of the myths and misconceptions surrounding personal injury law and how you might even be able to handle a case without hiring a lawyer. We also visit with community and state leaders to discuss how our justice system affects our communities and how holding wrongdoers accountable in personal injury cases actually strengthens our communities. In collaboration with Miley Legal, we aim to educate and inform you about everything you need to know regarding personal injury law in West Virginia. So sit back, relax, and let the tiger take it from here.
Welcome to the Communities to Courtrooms podcast. My name is Richard Matthews, and I'm co-hosting today with Tim Miley. Tim Miley, are you there?
I am, Richard. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm glad to be here today and to help introduce the world to your brand new podcast. What I want to start off with is, why don't you tell us a little about who you guys are and what who your clients are and what problems you help them solve?
Sure. My name is Tim Miley. I am the founder of the law firm Miley Legal, which is located in West Virginia. And we are a personal injury law firm, which means we help people who have been injured. And those injuries can come about in a number of different ways. The most common that people are familiar with would be car accidents or truck accidents. It could include industrial accidents or workplace accidents, even things such as dog bites, quite frankly, or medical malpractice cases. But we help people who have been wronged and injured by someone else. And when they come to us, we help put their lives back together if we can, or at least as much as we possibly can. And that means we pursue their claim for them, try to help them recover their health that was taken from them, and recover anything else that was taken from them, such as lost wages, any enjoyment of life, and things of that nature. So we help people put people back together again after they've been injured.
That's a incredible service for your community. What I want to find out from you is, what is the purpose for you guys for starting a podcast like this Communities to Courtrooms podcast? What is your goal here?
Sure. Our goal in presenting this podcast to the viewers and listeners is to help inform and educate the listener or the viewer on what they need to know if they have been injured. You don't always need a lawyer if you've been injured, but if you have been injured, you at least want to be armed with information to then make that decision about whether or not you want to go talk to and maybe hire a lawyer or go it alone. We will help simplify the legal process for you so that you understand completely what you are about to get yourself into if you hire a lawyer, or what you're going to get yourself into if you don't hire a lawyer.
Are you a victim of a car accident, an industrial accident? Whichever the case, you're not alone. At Miley Legal, we're not just lawyers. We're here to help you navigate through the complexities of personal injury law, boasting hundreds of positive Google reviews and tens of millions of dollars in settlements. We're your go-to personal injury law firm in West Virginia. Dial 304-326-1800 or visit mileylegal.com today. Remember, it's not just a case to us. Your injury is our fight. Let's get in the ring together. Miley Legal, no fee until we win your case. Start today and get what you deserve.
But we think it's important to inform and educate people in our communities so they can make better decisions when they have to decide something as important as which path to take after they've been seriously injured. And we want to bring that information to our communities because we actually believe that with a strong civil justice system, our communities will also become stronger. And holding others accountable for the injuries they cause to people also makes our communities stronger because it causes people to be more careful about what they're doing so that they don't injure other people around them.
Yeah, that's incredibly true. I know I have only had the experience of being in a courtroom for a trial once as a juror. That was one of the things that really struck me, is that everyone in the courtroom was there to uphold the justice for the community. Like, the defendant is there, the defense attorney is there to uphold and defend the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, and the prosecutor is there to defend their community. And that's what you guys stand up and do, is help to preserve and defend the justice for our communities, which I think is really cool. So my
Yes,
next
and
question.
one of the things we also want to do. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
One of the other things we want to help do through this podcast is dispel some of the myths that people have about personal injury cases, personal injury lawyers, and about people who bring those cases, because there's been a big propaganda campaign to discourage people from bringing personal injury claims, or to look down on people who do. And that propaganda campaign is funded by insurance companies, which coincidentally or not so coincidentally are the companies who will have to pay you for your injuries. So of course they're not going to want you to pursue your injury claim.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're working on creating a community resource to help uplift your community and make your community safer, and basically just be a better, stronger community. So here's my question for you. I know, because we chatted a little bit ahead of time, the Communities to Courtrooms podcast is going to be about more than just the legal side of what you guys do at Miley Legal, but you're going to be talking about issues that are pertinent to your community as well. You want to talk about that for a brief minute?
Sure. I don't believe that the law and communities operate exclusively from one another. I think they're intertwined in every community in our country, much less West Virginia. And so what my hope is to not just educate people on legal issues or about personal injury law and simplify them for everybody, but to bring in community leaders and icons and volunteers who will share their insights on what we can do to make communities stronger, and how our legal system dovetails with successful communities and successful businesses, successful politics. The law can be found in every area of our communities, and I want to get people on this podcast to share some of their experiences with the law in their business or in their life as they've been members and leaders of our communities.
I got to tell you, that gives me chills a little bit, because one of my life passions is helping to make communities stronger. That's one of the reasons why we do what we do at our company with podcasts. And I love that you guys are approaching your podcast that way, and really look forward to seeing what you guys do with it. What I want to find out from you next is, just for those people who are in your community in the West Virginia area, who might be interested in following what you guys are doing here on the podcast, 2 questions. How often are you guys expecting to release new content? And then where are they going to go to find that content?
Sure. Thank you for that question. We plan to release a podcast or content from the podcast every week, once a week. So you should be able to get on our website, mileylegal.com, and go //podcast and see all the episodes that we put out. But we plan to do so weekly. We'll also be out there on social media with our podcasts and excerpts from it, so that we will be everywhere you can find us. But just search for Miley Legal, and you'll find us out there, and it'll take you to our website where you can see all the episodes that we've produced.
Awesome. Yeah. So they'll mileylegal.com /podcast. There'll be links to all your major platforms. So if you like to subscribe on iTunes or Google Podcast or Amazon Music or wherever you'd like, all those links will be there for you. Tim, thank you so much for hopping on today and just doing this short intro episode to the Communities to Courtrooms podcast. And if you're watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join them for episode 1, where the good stuff will start happening on for next week.
Thank you, Richard. I'm looking forward to it.
You've been listening to From Communities to Courtrooms podcast, the definitive source for personal injury law, local happenings, and political insight in West Virginia. Remember, if you've been injured, don't let it get you down. Visit mileylegal.com or call us at 304-326-1800. Get your free case review today, because with Miley Legal, there's no fee until we win your case. So until our next compelling episode, remember, we'll fight for your right to recover everything you deserve.